After these panel discussions, we're going to have a Hive experience, which is a curated networking experience to connect you with other professionals here, which is another one of the things that CoLab is bringing to this and making this particularly good and connective of a conference, because it's about being connected with each other and creating this together more so than it is, how do I fit in this box? You get to make the box. So we'll make it together. So it looks like we've got who we've got, so let's go ahead and get started. You already know this gentleman right here from my introduction earlier, the mayor of Frackville. How about a big hand for John and his panelists who he's about to introduce to you?
Thank you all. Thank you, Jason. Jason, the Frac 2023 voice of God. If anybody is between here and the elevator and chit-chatting, please come over. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings by coming in a few seconds late. That's totally okay. So come on over. Thank you, everybody. I just noticed that this is happening, and it's important what we're going to talk about today. But at the same time, there's a clinic on fractional biz dev. It's freaking hard to beat, man. So you guys are making the macro decision today. People upstairs are doing tactical things. So, well, thank you, everybody. I'm super excited about this. I've got good notes because I realize I can't remember everything I need to say. So I got to write down notes. But this is a panel I've been looking forward to for a long time because I've been friends with these folks here for quite some time, and we've been spinning around in this fractional soup for several years, and I'm like, yeah, someday we're going to get together, and here we are, and we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to do some introductions here because that's my job. And so with me today, we're going to talk about fractional as a career choice. Why? Socially, why are people going fractional? Why are companies hiring fractional? What does it mean culturally? Like, there's a lot of dynamics here that are bigger than all of us. And these fine folks have some perspectives on that. So in the middle, well, kind of in the middle, is Karina Mickley. Yep. So Karina is the visionary behind Fractionals United, and if you haven't found it, please find it. It's a wonderful community for fractional pros. There's only a few on this planet that are all about the give and all about the support, and Fractionals United is one. And quite honestly, a lot of what we do in our community at Voyagers U, I'm like, yeah, just do what Karina's doing. It's great. But it's because we're aligned on values, just teach and help. So Karina's going to bring what she's been doing. She's worked her life as a fractional COO. So it's a very unique perspective. So if that's you and you have that viewpoint, comes at it from the operations lens. In fact, what does it say on your wrist? You have a bracelet. Does it say operations?
It says optimize.
Optimize on her wrist. So that's awesome. I've got a necklace with a picture of a fish. So Karina's going to share her viewpoint. Thank you, Karina. Also with us is Brett Trainer, Fractional Pro podcast host. If I were to categorize Brett, he's definitely a fractional thinker, but you've done a good job of like the exodus, like corporate escapee. The corporate escapee, if you want to think about like what that escape looks like, what are the dimensions, so much of that. 4 years ago, he grabbed onto like there's something to the corporate escape that begs attention and study, and there's stuff there, and you decided to make it a calling. And it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Brett, for being here. And finally, Heather Polivka, who is from the Twin Cities. So these two are from Chicago and New York, and Heather's from here. And Heather and I go back a couple of years as well. And Heather is the voice and brain and power behind, I just say awesome people leaders. Yeah. And she and I we have good conversations, and leadership tomorrow doesn't look like what it looks like today, doesn't look at all like it looks yesterday. We've all left the building. We're not going back, even though Wall Street is saying go back. Like, leadership is just in the center of our lives right now, and very grateful because Heather knows leadership quite well. She teaches it, coaches it, educates on it, practices it, and has a very unique lens. And obviously, fractional matters through the leadership lens and the people lens. So thank you all. This is going to be good. So thank you for offering your head. Okay, so Q&A. Hi, Tim. That's okay. You can be late, jerk. Just kidding. One of my best friends, and he's late. He's heard this before. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Brett.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to start with the idea of corporate escape. So according to CNBC last year, 50 million people quit their jobs, said, I'm out, that's it, I quit. I recently learned of a thing called quit talks. People just using TikTok to say screw you and publicly doing TikToks about it. But this is kind of your territory. People are leaving and not going back. Why the exodus? Why the need to escape? And where to escape to? And I'd love for you guys to throw in on this too. Yeah, but I'll start with you, Brett.
Yeah, and I will, you can cut me off if I start rambling too long.
That's okay, ramble away.
And I would not advise the quit talk either. Keep it professional. Even as every ounce of your body says, I just want to say screw you and leave. It's not in the best effort. So as John said, I left about 4 years ago. So I was in corporate, used to say 20 years, it was 30 years. And at the tail end of that, I left corporate and went into management consulting because that's really what you want to do at the end of your career. But at that point I was trying, like, I can change the world. Digital transformation is coming. All these companies just don't see it, right? They're built in silos. They can be so much more efficient. Well, after a year and a half in management consulting, screaming from the mountaintops, getting nothing done, an army of one. By the way, I was tasked with both business development and with delivery. So I'm like, all right, so I'm sourcing clients, I'm selling clients, and then I'm on the delivery side, but yet I'm only getting 50% of what my billable rate is. I'm like, something seems off here. So that was my jumping point to get off. But since then, I've just made it, I left because I thought money, right? I want to replace my income. I think I can make more income. Flexibility, freedom would be nice, but man, 3 years into it, now into 4, I'm finding it's the balance, right? It's all the different pieces of it. I'm in control of it. You still have to work. I had to rewire my brain how to work, right? Because for 30 years, you're following somebody else's schedule. You may get 20 to 30% of your time to do something on your own, but all of a sudden now you get 95, if not 100%, to figure out your schedule. So I know that's off topic.
So you said, okay, I'm getting 50% of what the value I'm providing.
Right.
That's kind of bull jive.
It is. Not to
So that was your hit the exit button.
Hit the exit, but then when I started looking back at the macro, it tied into it, right? Because we saw where businesses are going. Big companies are struggling with digital. Their solution is just lay off people, right? We're going to lay off people. We'll hit our number. You know, I used to joke, and I still